I'd like you to come and sit down in my office for a few minutes tonight. And rather than typing out my Facebook post, I want to tell you what's on my mind. It's about my husband, Bruce, and he agreed for me to make this post. When Kinza was in grade 3, he spiked a high temperature one night. I had no idea what was happening because as fast as it came, it was gone. I think maybe 20 minutes max. But when it left, it took all of his energy with it. And that energy is not really back to what it was before, even today. Life stopped for him. And some days I would go out to work and he was in a chair with the blanket up to the top of his nose. And when I came back from work, he was in the chair with the blanket up to the top of his nose. All those years of sitting and inactivity really took a toll on his back. So then he had back issues, which he's been struggling with for the past 4 years. His chronic fatigue has improved, but he is nothing compared to what he used to be. And then, of course, just before we moved out here to Nova Scotia, he was diagnosed with cancer. And we were just stunned by that. And he went every day for 6 or 7 weeks into Halifax for radiation and chemo. I had the surprise of my life because I thought, oh my goodness, now we're going to be whacked right back into the worst of fatigue. And during the treatments, surprise, there was something in those drugs that just energized him. And I saw a spark in his eye that I hadn't seen for years. He actually had an interest in getting up and trying to do a few things. And he even came with us to church. My gracious. Well, that was great while he was on chemo. But afterwards, the toll of that on him was unbelievable. And I saw him slip right back even further in terms of how much time he needed to spend in bed following his treatments. It was very, very disturbing. So then a friend of mine on Facebook, I've already spoken about her, how she has been taking this coffee every morning for weight loss and the incredible change that it's made to her in 2 months. But I noticed also that there was a hope of energy. And I thought, oh, Bruce has got to try this. So we ordered the coffee. And we have just completed 2 weeks. Now, Bruce was going back to bed after breakfast every morning for 2.5 hours. He would get up, look somewhat energized, have lunch, and by 2 o'clock he was ready to go back to bed. And there he'd be until it was just before time for Kinza to get home from work. He'd get up and we'd make dinner and he'd eat something and back to bed. And, I just want to report that after 2 weeks on Revital U, this coffee that has a natural supplement of some kind in it, I say of some kind, they're very upfront with their ingredients. It's just that I am so unversed in all of this stuff, but it's all there. You can take it and research it. We took it to our chiropractor. He gave it a thumbs up. And so anyway, Bruce, after 2 weeks of being on this, you know what? We have been here now in the house since December. And it is just this week that man has gone down into his office and started to sort through his stuff. He's been putting stuff through the, what do you call that thing that cuts everything up? The shredder, of course. Word searching. He's put bags and bags of stuff through the shredder. Why has he been doing that? Because he didn't have the focus or the energy to do it in Toronto before we moved. We brought all that stuff with us. I didn't know if it was ever going to get shredded up and sorted through. But I couldn't tell you how much he's done this week. He has not had a nap in the morning and the afternoon several days this week, just up the whole day. A couple of times he's gone back to bed during the day just to rest. So anyway, that's my blurb for today. Has he lost any weight? He needs to lose a lot of weight. It will help him so much if he can get down. But he has not lost an ounce. So I'm not reporting any weight loss for him at all yet. But I'm saying yet because sometimes these things take a while to kick in, and I'm very aware of that. I'm also very aware that I'm almost up to a 6-minute video, so I'm going to say goodbye for now, and tomorrow I'm going to tell you my story. Thanks. Bye.